everybody, and welcome back to the universe. Today I have another one-stop quick shop video. I don't know why I call them one-stop. I mean, I guess it's just one thing that I'm focusing on. Today's video is going to be all about concealer. How to conceal? I don't know. What's important about concealer? What you should know? I'm gonna do my best to tell you why I use concealer, where I use it, how much you need, and the purpose of it. So let's just get right to it. Yeah. Okay, so I dimmed the lighting a little bit because I want you to see all my stuff. I don't have perfect skin, obviously, and I'm getting red, as always. I think there are people that just want to use concealer, no foundation, and just to get like a light amount of coverage and just quick and easy. So I'm gonna do that on this side of my face. I have a few blemishes, some redness. So I'm gonna do that, no foundation on this side. And then on this side, I'm going to do foundation and how I would conceal my blemishes and also focusing on my under eye area. As you may notice, I don't have dark circles. Oh, do I? Oh, I don't have intense dark circles and I don't have a lot of creasing. But if you do, hopefully this video is still helpful because I'm gonna just talk about how you can avoid creasing. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna prime my face, both sides, with a hydrating primer. I think the biggest concern about dark circles and creasing around your eyes has to do with the lack of hydration underneath here. Creasing will happen if your under eyes are dry, so it'll cling onto those crevices, you know? So having a hydrating primer is always helpful. And I personally don't use eye creams in my skincare routine, but what I've heard is when you want to prep your eyes for makeup, it's actually a good idea if you deal with creasing. Mother father, I can't open this. This is not an eye cream, but this is just like this Bobbi Brown little sample that I got, and it seems pretty thick. That's why I want to use it. But if you have an eye serum, an eye cream, it's nice to prime your under eyes with it. Just tap it in there, and this will help with hydrating your eye so it doesn't look as sunken in, and it will avoid the creasing that you may have. As you can tell, like, even though I don't have dark circles, I definitely have shadows, little darkness at the end. As I always say, not an expert. This smells nice. Not an expert, not a artist, just a connoisseur and regurgitating a lot of things that I've already seen on the interweb. A big thing about makeup is light, right? So wherever you're hit with light, that's where it's going to shine. So that's why you shadow some areas that you want to cut down on, and you conceal areas, or you highlight other areas that you want to bring up. That's kind of what we're gonna go for here. Okay, so I've primed my eyes a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and put foundation just on this side, and it'll provide light coverage. You really don't. Some people use concealer to like highlight or contour. Oh my gosh. You can use concealer for literally anything. Some people use it as their foundation, but in this video, I'm gonna focus on how you can use it kind of as foundation and how you can use it to cover up blemishes. Okay, so as you can see, I have foundation on this side. This is obviously not full coverage, so you'll still see some of my blemishes peeking through and my porous pores right here, and then here I have nothing. I haven't tested that many concealers because I just like what I like, and you probably already know I have two of the Born This Way multi-sculpt concealer, and this is truly multi-use. You can use it for foundation. I've used this as foundation. I've used this to highlight. I've used this to conceal. Some people use really darker shades to contour, but I don't have something like that. This is super full coverage, really good. This is more high-end at like Sephora. And then I have these three concealers. They're Korean, but you can buy them online. The Saem, and I have the shades 2 and 1.75, and then I have a concealer from Luna. The Luna ones and the Saem ones are a little bit lighter, so these two I usually use just to highlight. Concealer is, I think, very multifunctional, so you can use it any way that you want to. For the side where I have foundation on, I don't need to layer up a full extra layer with concealer because it kind of defeats the purpose of the foundation. And what I'm learning is less is more. Less is more. Less is more. So what I do is I usually will take concealer that's the same shade as my foundation and just spot conceal the areas that need a tiny bit more coverage. Like, you don't need to, I used to go in like streaking my concealer thinking I need it basically as a second layer of foundation, but you don't. Less is always more. It will look much more natural and much more cleaner and not at all cakey. And then I'm just gonna hit those spots with my sponge. But I still, because I'm covering those blemishes, I wanna concentrate it. So I don't wanna be moving around too much. I just wanna blend just those spots out. Just like that. So right now I'm using concealer to spot correct darkness, hyperpigmentation, redness, but I'm using the same shade, so it'll just be part of my base. And then once you've hit that spot, you can naturally kind of fade it out. Now you can see I have much more of a cleaner base, a lot more coverage. You can still kind of see it. So if you want to go another layer, the Saem is a little bit sheer of a coverage. This Too Faced Sculpting one is really, really full coverage. I really like this concealer. I'm just gonna add a little bit more. Okay. This side is gonna be more for people that are like, oh, quick, I just want to put on a little bit of concealer and get it out the door. I don't want to put on all foundation, all that stuff. And this depends on the coverage of your concealer. You can do something that's sheer, like the Rare Beauty one I heard is really sheer but really pretty. Or you can do something that's a little bit more full coverage. But what I learned, I don't remember where I learned this, is you really want to concentrate, if you're using your concealer like as mostly your base, you kind of want to concentrate just a little bit in the center of your face. Most of the light is hitting the middle, right? So that's kind of where you want the most coverage, and then you just want to fan it out. So you'll add a little, and then if there are some blemishes, like I have this spot right here, you can go ahead and kind of spot treat that. Stick to where I concentrated my concealer and then start pushing it out a little bit. This Saem concealer actually provides a pretty good amount of coverage. And then you're taking whatever is left on the sponge and just evening it out across your face. If you look closer, this side is actually quite more sheer except for in this area. But when I pull it back, you can't see much of a difference, right? Because when you look at my face, I feel like you're focusing right here. All right, and then next I'm gonna go into actually concealing your under eye area. So when it comes to concealing and avoiding creasing, like I said, it's really important, I think, to hydrate your under eye. So this is what I used. I used this sample. It smells so good. Oh, and then you're gonna take a concealer shade that is definitely too light for you to put all over your face. It's a highlighting shade. So you wanna go like 2 to 3 shades lighter. I like going pretty light on my complexion. So if this is 2, this is like 1.75. This color is Golden Beige, which fits my skin tone, and then this is Shortbread. I would say the jump between these two, it's kind of a lot actually, because you can see, right? And this is what I used to do too, like huge streaks on your under eye to, you know, make it really bright, but less is more, right? So what I learned from my main man, Robert Welsh, and what I've been doing lately is just doing a little bit right here and then right here so that you can lift your eye up. Brighter color will bring more light to it, so you want to just tap it on right there. And I think it's really dependent too. If you have like sunken eye bags or really dark circles, it actually might be better. I'm just doing this as a reference. Depending on where your eye circles are, it's good to look at the mirror like this kind of, so that you're not creasing it. And then if you have dark circles or wrinkles or whatever right around this area, just add like a hair, just like that. You do not need a lot. You can use a brush, so actually I'm gonna use this Makeup by Mario concealer brush, and basically I'm gonna start to just pat it where I placed it first and then fan it out, because where you placed it is probably where you need to conceal the most. Blending the rest of it out. Just like that. Same thing here. Press it where you want the most coverage and then start fanning it out and stay in your under eye. Don't need to be having triangles of concealer. Just like that. Wow, do you see how much brighter my under eyes are? It not only provides nice coverage, but it provides that lift, so that now when the light is hitting my face, or when you're looking at me straight on, you can already see this is kind of brought up a little bit, you know, adds dimension. So now is powdering. So I don't know if you know, but my favorite powder is limited edition, and it only comes out like once a year. It came out again this year, but it's like not worth it because it comes out in a mini version of this. So basically I would be getting everything else that I already have and getting a smaller this. So I got it and then I returned it because I just couldn't rationalize it. But basically for my under eyes, I love taking a soft powder like this one and the Hourglass one. I might try Charlotte Tilbury because I heard that the powder is really good, but it's just so expensive. But this is expensive too. But there's some magic, I don't know what it is, but there's something in this powder that provides like this luminosity. It's not shimmery like a highlight, but it's almost like there's magic dust in here. It just hits the light so perfectly and it's so soft and it kind of just disperses on your face. So I love this powder. As you can see, I have none left. Just digging into the sides of what I have left, and then I'm just gonna lightly, less is more, right? So lightly just set that under eye area. If you have really dark circles, you can take a more pigmented powder, usually more yellow, I think, to cancel out grayness. I'm also using a mix of this translucent powder as well, because I love this translucent powder, but this doesn't have as much, if any, pigment to it. I used to use this whole bigger e.l.f. brush. Obviously it's less precise, so I'm just gonna go into here. And then I'm hitting all the way underneath here, so I'm, you know, powdering more than just my under eyes here. But I like being a little bit more precise when you're going right underneath. So that's my concealing. I'm done. I'll be right back with a full face to talk about the process of it. I don't know. All right, see you later. Bye. Okay, on my phone, it doesn't look as red. Maybe I should film it with my phone. But on camera, it looks very like, so, interesting. Well, that's okay. Anyways, so okay, I'm back. I just finished doing my makeup. You can't really see a difference, right? This is the concealer side and this is foundation side. And it wasn't really to show so much of a difference, but it was more about where and why I'm putting on the concealer. But as you can see, my under eyes still look super bright. I mean, this is eyeshadow right here. Yeah, no creasing. No creasing indeed. Maybe this color choice, this color combo, not really good. Kind of upset, but it's fine. Can't be perfect every day. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys how I put on concealer and what purpose it serves when I'm using it. Just a quick recap. I'll spot conceal using a concealer that is the same shade as my foundation, just right on the spots that I want to conceal, and then go ahead and blend it out. And then in areas I want to highlight, I'll use a lighter shade and go in with not too much, just dots to lift up my face and let that light hit where I want it, so it'll bring it up closer and add a little bit more like dimension. It's all about dimension, light manipulation, you know? That's it for today's video. I hope this was helpful. There's a lot of people out there, especially right now, because, you know, doing foundation is just a whole extra step, but just doing concealer is honestly a good way to go because you just don't need to do everything. So just doing a little bit of concealer, a little bit of highlighting concealer, easy money. So hopefully that was helpful for that. That's it for today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to my channel. Sometimes helpful tips, sometimes I just do my makeup like a web drama character. That was so fun though. Be nice to your parents, wear a mask, and God bless you. Bye!